4 countdown. We are gonna start things off with the top 10 enemies in all the Fallout series. Well, not all of the Fallout series, but like from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4. Starting to experience the Fallout franchise. They don't have, they have decent loots, like decent stuff to take from them, besides their clothing, because their clothings are light, and also they show a lot of skin, which is easier for me to kill. So I recommend you not to wear the armor. I mean, the mask isn't all that bad. I mean, I'm not telling you guys not to wear this stuff. I mean, in the wasteland, you gotta kill people with style. Anyway, yeah, not much of a threat to me. Then when I after I got used to Fallout, they are, yeah, they're pretty weak. Anyway, on number 9, we got the, that is not the giant ant I was looking for. Hold on a second. Okay, that's the giant ant I'm talking about. Number 9, we got the giant ant. They're pretty menacing. There are kind of a few types of giant ants in Fallout series. We got a regular giant ant, and one of my favorite ones is actually the fire giant fire ants. And it's kind of funny when you look at them. You'd be like, oh, it's just another giant ant that just probably would poison you. No, these giant fire ants like literally breathe fire right on you, and it's actually, and I kind of cringe a little every time I encounter one, and I just let them like burn me, and it's kind of fun. So yeah, these guys are alright to go against. They're pretty fun to kill, especially when you're trying to go against the queen, because it's actually like a boss battle. So yeah. Number 8 is the Talon Company Merc. They are actually an annoying threat to me because ever since I've been doing either good deeds in the wasteland, they would just do nothing but try to take my head for no particular reason. Even when I have a good karma. Um, they have decent weapons and decent armor. They are everywhere in the downtown area. Every time you leave the metro station, they would like either pop up out of nowhere. There will always be a 90% chance they will show up and try to do nothing but kill you. On number 7, we got the super mutants. They are like the Talon Company mercs. They are everywhere. Um, they have heavy artilleries. They take a lot of innocent people hostage, where I have to come in and save the day. And they are pretty fun to go against. And they actually make a mark in the Fallout franchise, where they won't go away. And that's a good thing about it. On number 6, we got the Enclave soldiers. They are I think they are the protagonists in the I think they are the main protagonists in Fallout 2. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the gameplay or nor played the game at my friend's place, but they are kind of the main antagonists in Fallout 3. They in spoiler alert, if you guys are watching this and starting Fallout 3, they try to take over Project Purity for the sake of for the sake of their own kind, not just everybody else's. They just want it for themselves. But they are pretty dangerous at times. They can pop out nowhere every time you're wandering around the wasteland in their little helicopter thing. Their specialty is energy weapons and electric and yeah, just energy weapons. Um, for example, the Gatling gun. I don't know what that is. That in the black one. Um, I don't think. I think it's an incinerator. I'm not sure. But the Gatling gun, incinerator, the plasma rifle, the plasma pistol, the laser rifle, and the laser pistol, of course. Um, they got decent armor, probably kind of overdoing, but way better than the Brotherhood of Steel, in my opinion. They got the Tesla armor, which I love the most out of all of the Enclave armor. where they have electricity on their shoulder pads, and I find that really cool. And they are they are a decent threat to the Fallout franchise. Well, at least Fallout 3. Number 5, we got the Super Behemoth. They are different. They are extremely different than the super mutants because A, he's a behemoth and he's freaking huge, and B, he's pretty powerful than all the other super mutants. He gives out more damages um, to the player, and which gives you a hard time depending on who's he targeting at. And it's pretty fun to go against him, especially even when you start at Fallout 3 and you go to the Galaxy News radio station. You'll first be introduced there. You'll first introduce the super mutant behemoth there. From then forward, you'll have to find like 3 more because there are 4 in total in Fallout 3, and they're pretty dangerous to go against. So I usually try to like either strategize or bring a companion with me for a distraction at times, like for example Fox. So yeah, they are pretty powerful and they are pretty intimidated, kinda intimidated to me. They're just a super mutant is a super mutant, but yet this one is the strongest of them all. Number 3, we got the actually no. Number 4, we got the Legion. They are the main antagonists of the Fallout New Vegas. Nothing much to say about them is that except that their clothing and armor and what they stand by is kind of similar to the Roman Empire, and that um, their combat is really and that their fighting style is close combat. It's besides the throwing spear, but they're not guns. Um, yeah, so they are the antagonists, depending on who you choose. If you choose their side, then the NCR will go against you. But if you choose the Yes Man, Mr. House, or the NCR, they are the main enemy to go against. So yeah. Number 3, we got the Cazador. Um, the reason why I put this photo up, besides just the model of the Cazador, is because that's my reaction to every time I go against the Cazador. They're really annoying. Every time they sting you, you get poison, and then they sting you again, and it gets worse every time they sting you. And the worst thing about these Cazadors is not only that if you can barely go against one, there are more than one Cazador to go against every time you encounter them. And yeah, so they are the most annoying insects in the Fallout series so far, up to date. I hope that I bet that there's gonna be more annoying insects and creatures in the Fallout 4, and that's probably not gonna be a good thing. But it's Fallout 4. What are you gonna do? Number 2 is the Rad Scorpion. Nothing but to say about them except that they're giant scorpion, that they're radiated scorpions that will sting you. They're kind of like Cazadors in Fallout 3, and they're pretty dangerous, fun to kill, and yeah, etc. They are they are one of the most recognizable insects in the Fallout series. And they're always everywhere when you're trying to go around the Raceland in both New Vegas and Fallout 3. And yeah, they are pretty dangerous. You can barely see the bark scorpion, the albino scorpions in Fallout New Vegas. I'm sorry, that was a little difficulty in the middle of the screen. But you can barely see the bark scorpion and the albino rad scorpion in New Vegas, but yet you can see the giant rad scorpion and the regular rad scorpion in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Before we hit to our number one enemy of all time, which is probably obvious, let's hit on to our honorable mentions. Rad Scorpion, Mole Rat, Night Stalker, the geckos. We got the fire gecko, we got the golden geckos, and we got the gecko geckos. Feral ghouls, Mirelurks, Yawguas, and the Nightkins. Number 1, wasn't really hard to pick on if I had to choose what was my best enemies and what one of my best and worst enemy up to date at the same time. It would have to be the Deathclaw. They are one of the most powerful enemies in the Fallout series. Pretty hard to kill, especially when you have the most powerful weapon, like for example the Alien Blaster. So they can actually take up to more than two hits in the head, and yeah, they actually take up to more than two hits from an Alien Blaster. Um, when they hit you, it has major damage. They are pretty intimidated. I mean, they are pretty intimidating for any player that has the first encounter of a Deathbot, and they're pretty fun to go against if you're used to killing Deathclaws like myself, or it's pretty kind of fun to get away from it and see how you can survive a Deathclaw. So yeah, well that is it for our top 10 count for our countdown on Fallout 4.